You've probably heard of 50 different ways that you could get into the Airbnb game. And a lot of people tell you just figure it out, list it, and get rich. Well, a whole lot of people followed that advice and got crushed when they didn't realize what they were actually getting into. This is the hospitality business mixed with real estate investing. But there is one version that you can get started with this without any real estate investing, any money down, and no real experience. But you are going to have to learn a few things and put in a little sweat equity to make this happen. But the cash flow can be there to get you started in your real estate investing journey. This is how you make money on Airbnb without signing a lease, without buying a property, without putting up any cash to do anything really. It's called co-hosting, and when it's done right, it's not just a side hustle. It's how you fund the properties that you actually want to buy to get into the investing side, which is where you really make your wealth. Let's get into it. Real numbers, no fluff. Let's go. Hey everyone, my name is Garrett Brown. I'm the short-term rental expert at BiggerPockets and a short-term rental investor myself, where I own, operate, and co-host over 20 different properties that gross $1.5 million every single year. So what exactly is co-hosting? Strip the hype off of it, and it's basically where you run somebody's short-term rental, or Airbnb as you might know it, and they pay you a cut from the revenue. That's it. They own the property. They take the risk. You just handle an operation and get paid what comes from it. Now, here's the misconception I want to kill right now. People hear the word co-host and think it's just cleaning toilets and answering messages. That is what the cleaners do, and that is what your assistants will do. A real co-host runs the entire thing. Pricing, listing optimization, management of vendors, management of cleaners. It's property management minus the ownership risk. And so it's only for two different style of people. One who wants in the business but just can't right now, probably from a lack of financial funds to go buy their own property. And two, you watch the rental arbitrage crowd pretty much sign leases and then be on the hook for those leases even when no revenue comes in, and also have to furnish it and deal with any maintenance themselves. So co-hosting is the answer to both if you are worried on either side. And here's exactly how it works. First, the money. How does this split actually even work? Co-hosts typically take between 10 to 25% of the nightly rental revenue. Where you land actually just depends on how much you do. If you're just doing some guest messaging and maybe a little cleaner coordination, you're probably on the lower of the 10%. If you're doing everything, you're probably higher to the 20 to 25%. Pricing, cleaning operation, vendor handling, guest messaging, inspections, all these things like that. That is going to be at the higher end of it. So the main thing to focus on is figure out what the scope you want to do is. I personally think that a full service co-host is always going to be more valuable for you and more valuable for the owner, but everybody has a different business model. This is a business, and I can't tell you exactly how to do it. Some of the biggest corporate property managers in the world run on the 10% just do guest messaging and maybe some cleaner coordination model on their own. Now, the cleaning fee and all these other things, you usually take them completely as a co-host and then pay the cleaner this, and maybe there's a little markup on your end to make some profit for the vendor coordination part of it. But everything is negotiable. And as you're starting, you probably are going to not make as much money on your first property because you just need to get the experience and get going. So what do you actually handle versus what does the owner actually handle? So you run the day-to-day, the guest communications, pricing, the calendar, review management, cleaner coordination, and, maintenance calls if anything breaks. The owner handles the mortgage, the asset, pays for anything big, the property taxes. Even if something gets damaged small, it doesn't come out of your pocket necessarily. Again, everything's negotiable. I know some co-hosts that will take care of anything under $50 perhaps, which I don't agree with personally, but everybody has a different business model. But for the most part, the owner pays for most things that they have to do. So you have very little expense besides usually software, your time, and maybe a couple other things as you're learning it, especially when you start with one property. You're probably not going to have an assistant. You're probably not going to have an operations manager and all this. But over time, you can build that with more places. So now I'm going to go ahead and stop you because I'm sure you're already asking yourself this. Garrett, why would anybody at all let me manage their property when I have zero experience? It's a real question. And here's the real answer, not from some guru, waving their hand trying to teach you everything and sell you a $5,000 mastermind. You don't start with a stranger. You start with somebody you already know, hopefully. Family friend, family member, a coworker that has a place sitting empty or is tired of managing it on their own and wants to step out of it and just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. You can run it for them. Once you start stacking up some of those stays, then you get more experience, word of mouth. You can get into the Airbnb co-host network. It all starts to trickle down. But I will give you some objection handlers in a little bit at the end of this video to help you be able to sell yourself to someone that is going to ask, why would I give you my property when you have no experience? So let's talk about how to land your first client and how that process even goes. Because let's get real, me telling you go network just doesn't really help. There's 3 real channels, and I'll give you in order what you should do. First, your own network. I know I already kind of alluded to it, but this is your fastest yes by far, if there is one out there. Telling people on Facebook, telling anybody you talk to that you are wanting to co-host Airbnbs, you've been learning about it, all these things. Like, put the word out there. Closed mouths don't get fed, and you will be shocked by how you just putting things out into the universe, sometimes those things will come back to you because it trickles around to the right people. If you don't tell anyone, they'll never know. Second is local short-term rental meetups, and even better, Facebook groups. Find the market that you're in, find the market that you're near, and go into some of these, Airbnb owners of Texas, or where there's a million Facebook groups out there. There's probably even a local one like Houston Airbnb owners, Houston short-term rental owners, something like that. You'll see a ton of people complaining about how they're tired of their property, or you'll see people that are brand new themselves and they work a full-time job and they don't know how to do anything. You might be able to be that hustler that they need to go in and get that sweat equity to really manage that property for them while they do whatever else they want to, because not everybody that buys an Airbnb realizes how much management it's going to be. But you're watching this video, so you obviously realize the management side is where a lot of the money actually comes in, cash flow, to then go and buy your own properties. And the third one is once you get at least one property under your belt and you have, I think it's 10 stays and like a 4.8 review rating, you can then get onto the Airbnb co-host network, which I've picked up a few properties of my own through this network. It is basically owners going on to the platform of Airbnb and finding someone to help them co-host their property. So those are 3 pretty simple ways to do it. Do it in that order and make sure you're telling everybody exactly what you're doing. I can't emphasize that enough. The next step after that is then how do you convince someone when you have zero experience to let you manage their hopefully $1 million property or something like that? Well, everybody starts somewhere. You don't have to be great to start. You got to start to be great. You need to start with your education, start in the communities. You're already on this channel, which is one of the best resources you can to learn the side of Airbnb, short-term rental investing and hosting that you need to. There's tons of other channels. There's tons of Facebook groups. Dive into everything that you can and just soak up as much knowledge as you can to really understand what it takes to become a successful Airbnb co-host. Once you do that, one big step that is a possibility is to try to go work under another property manager or co-host that has a lot of properties and go intern for them, or try to get like a part-time job with them potentially. Learn some of their in and outs and see how they run their operation. At the same time, you're getting your YouTube University education and all these other things too. That's going to really teach you what it takes to go to some of these owners soon and have enough knowledge and investment in your own education of it to really handle any objections or thoughts that they may have that come to you. And then, I'll be honest, at some point, you just got to do it. You're going to go through trial by fire, and the first property you host, just give it all you got and so much attention to detail that, there's going to be things that you're not expecting and YouTube can't teach you, and you're going to have to just learn those to keep getting better. My first property that I owned and managed myself, there were so many things that I did wrong, but I did a lot of things right because I cared so much and I had free time and I was on studying everything I could, and I was just implementing things and learning. Now we're managing 20 plus and own quite a few of those and about to launch 20 more soon. We have learned so many things, and we continuously learn every day. This is a nonstop learning field. No day, 2 days are the same, it kind of seems like. So once you're actually good, word of mouth is going to sell yourself for everybody else that are owners. You just got to get started to be great. Like I mentioned earlier, do not sell yourself short, and make sure anybody that says, why would I let you run it? You just need to tell them that you are hungrier than everyone else, and all these big corporations, they are just a number in their system, and you are going to give it all the attention from everything you have learned because you are truly trying to get this running to the highest of your ability, and you know what is on the line to become successful with this first property. A lot of people are going to see that boutique side to you and the hustle and the grind within you, and they're going to respect that. I guarantee you, because nobody wants to be just another number on someone's spreadsheet where they don't care about one of their biggest assets, which is probably what you're taking on. So quick little natural plug. If you made it this far in the video, please hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see. It really helps the channel grow, and I'm super thankful to have you here. But let's keep going, not waste any more time. So what do you actually need to run a successful short-term rental? Well, when you're first starting and you have one property, you don't need a ton, to be honest. I really think there are three big things that will make your life way easier the better you learn them for one property. It's going to be a property management software system. I personally use Logify is the one I use, but there's tons of really good one out there. Hospitable, other things like that. There's some really good ones that are out there. The other thing is a dynamic pricing tool. Some of these softwares have dynamic pricing built into them. I personally like its own separate one. It's called Price Labs. That's what I use. And then you'll need a cleaner management, maintenance kind of task platform. I use Turno, and it syncs up with my cleaners. They get an instant message after a booking, and they can accept the cleaning to know what day to be there, what time, when the next check-in is, all these kind of little cool automated things. But that is it. And that's about maybe $100 worth of software that you probably need, give or take a little less. But you don't even need that when you first start. I'll be honest, you could do everything just on Airbnb and that's all you use. I personally don't recommend that, but there's not some massive operation you need to stack up with just one property. Just get started, get your favorite property management software. That is by far the most important. And then all these other little pieces of software you can kind of implement as you go along. So as we start to wrap it up, let's get into some of the actual honest numbers here though. Let's do some real math. Let's say you land 3 properties over, a few months because you're hustling and telling people what you're doing. I would hope that each one grosses at least 60 to 70 grand per year. That's a smaller target to hit. I personally look for 100 grand per year to take on a property, looking at AirDNA and some other tools to guess how much the revenue will be. But even if we take you just to get started and you're taking whatever comes your way, which trust me, I've been there. Let's say you get 3 properties at 40 grand a year in revenue. Modern, realistic, not massive beachfront mega homes, and you manage them and they're in the same area for a 20% split. That's around $8,000 per year for each property. But you didn't have to pay much for it. You didn't have to do a whole lot. And with a few software tools, you'll be able to run them pretty easily with a really good, reliable cleaner. So is $24,000 going to change your life? Not necessarily with that first part, but here's the part that nobody talks about when things really get interesting. That $24,000 could potentially start leading you to a down payment to get your own property that you invest in. And now you have 4 rentals, 3 that you just co-host and 1 that you own and manage now as well. So now you have your own property and you know more of what works. You know what the market is demanding. Now you also get the equity upside, all these things too. And you find a balance between very high cash flowing job, which co-hosting is pretty much a job or a business. And then you owning the property has that bit of real estate investing that you really need to grow financial freedom over time. And if you keep repeating this cycle over a few years, you might end up very similar to me with 7 units that I own and about 13 units that I just manage. Healthy balance between ownership, which has higher costs but way bigger benefits, and co-hosting, which has a lot of cash flow but not as much equity upside and things there. So that's where the real wealth is built in the short-term rental game. But not everybody has money to start and get the down payment that they need. This is a great way to get started and truly earn some income while also learning big, valuable investing skills that you need to know. And that's the whole step. Just put your name out there. Keep learning every single thing you can. If you made it this far into the video, let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there's anything else I can help with around this topic. Hit that subscribe button. And I think YouTube wants you to watch one of these videos right here. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.